Have I ever said to you that Queen is my favorite band of all time? Breyer's Music Showcase is brought to you by the people over at Patreon. Pledge today and get access to exclusive perks. Link in the description. Welcome to Breyer's Music Showcase. I'm Bryer Cisneros and welcome back to another video. And Queen will always be number one to me, but there are some people who seem to disagree with that. And when people talk shit of my favorite band, that's a red flag for me. Do any of you remember this guy, Brad Taste in Music? I remember he reacted to a Night at the Opera one time, and he said this.
What is with this asshole play so far, dude? Everyone sucks.
It was at that moment I knew I couldn't trust him, and I was right not to do so because eventually I would learn he would turn out to be a very shitty person. But of course Brad's not the only one. I've heard a couple people in the YouTube space that say Queen is overrated or they're not that good. And that got me questioning, why do people not like Queen? And so I'm gonna see if I can take my bias aside and try to think of a few reasons why Queen is not well liked. After kind of going around looking at forums and different types of threads, I think I've wheeled it down to 5 main reasons, and we're gonna go through these. And I'll try to, I don't know, I could try to rebuke these, but we'll see. I'll try to give my thoughts on these as we go. But if you have any thoughts of yourself, then you can drop them in the comments below. So we're just gonna jump right into this. Reason number 1, their style is all over the place. Now, Queen is often labeled as a rock band, and for the most part, they are. But if you really dive deep into their catalog, you learn that they are way more than just that. They have tackled many types of genres, from hard rock, heavy metal, pop, opera, disco, gospel, the list goes on. And for some reason that's considered a bad thing. Well, I don't know about you, but I like a band with a lot of variety. To me, when a band wants to venture into different genres, some of it may work, some of it may not, but I respect that they're willing to try out new things, and it does add more color to their discography. The Beatles were known for venturing off into different genres, and nobody gives them any crap. To me, it kind of comes down to people who just want something consistent. There's no surprises, they know what they're getting, and they want to have it can stay the same the entire time, which to me, it can kind of get boring every once in a while. I'm a big fan of AC/DC, don't get me wrong, but every once in a while, even I must admit, some of the music does get very samey. Reason number 2, the theatrical vibe isn't for everyone. Take a song like Bohemian Rhapsody, for example. It is very over the top, very bombastic, very theatrical, and there are some people who find it very campy. These are the same people who think Mr. Wonderful is a good album. Now, I will admit there might be some bias on my end because I have a small background in theater. Like, I did drama in high school, so I've always liked that sort of over-the-top, very bombastic sort of style, because to me that captures my attention more than just a plain blues rock album. It adds more flair to it, and it just, to me, it's a bit more entertaining, which is what Queen were meant for. They were known for being very eye-catching and grabs your attention right out of the gate. And this kind of leads into the 3rd reason why, and that is reason 3, they are perceived to lack authenticity. Now, these rock purists out there, they always bring up Led Zeppelin, the Rolling Stones, and the Doors. They're kind of seen as those bands that are very gritty, very dark, very down to earth. They're not glitz and glamour. They don't put on very dramatic entrances when they come on stage. They're not putting on costumes or anything. They are just bare bones, just your standard out of the streets onto the stage sort of rock stars. Now, I kind of see both sides because I do love Led Zeppelin and the Rolling Stones, and they are known as some of the great live acts of all time as well. But Queen is also great in their own right. They're just very different on how they do it. Now, Led Zeppelin were not the most dramatic live act, but they had charisma and the musicianship was just the big centerpiece. But Queen just has that extra element to them that really made them stand out from the pack. And at the end of the day, both both bands are doing the exact same thing. They're trying to entertain people. And it really comes down to how you want to see. If you don't want to see the more out there sort of live setting, then there's always those bands that are more stripped back and not like that. But for me personally, again, I like seeing the big productions, you know, same reason why I like Kiss. You know, Kiss are another example of a very theatrical, very in-your-face sort of rock band. And those bands I always tend to gravitate towards because visually that's what I like to see, that grabs my attention. But again, nothing against the other side, but that's just where I tend to lie most of the time. Number 4, Freddie Mercury's vocals can be polarizing. This was kind of a surprise to me because, as we know, Freddie Mercury is often cited as one of the greatest rock singers of all time. But there are just some that aren't really into Freddie's vocals. I don't fully get it, but what I can gather goes back to the authenticity side of things. You know, Freddie is a very grandiose, very larger than life sort of vocal style, very dramatic, which to some, again, could see as inauthentic. Take Bob Dylan for example. He's known for not having a good voice, but people still like him because they feel like he has an authenticity to his voice. It sounds like an average person just singing about what's on his mind. To some people, Freddie is maybe a bit too overblown. It's just a bit too much. But again, if you're speaking to someone like me, I like that sort of vocal style. To me, that sort of vocal style is more impressive to me, but it really depends on where you lie. I love Bob Dylan, again, but I must acknowledge he's not that good of a singer. And I tend to like Freddie Mercury's vocals more because it just hits me a bit more. But again, that's another reason that I see. And again, I can kind of understand a little bit, but you know, Freddie is he's my guy. And the final reason I'll talk about in this video is number 5. They are overexposed. Now, Queen have a ton of hit singles. I'm not going to list them because I don't have that much time, but you know the hits. You're always going to hear them in radio, movies, arenas. You'll always hear a Queen song at some point in your life. And to some people, the whole overexposed, the overplayed argument is going to be brought up. Now, if you're older, I can kind of understand because you have a long history of hearing these songs. And yeah, maybe after long periods, it can be pretty tiring. Now, I will say I am kind of thankful I live in this current generation because I don't have to listen to the radio. I almost never listen to radio, honestly. And I have a bit more control on what I want to listen to. You know, I have a whole collection. I have a lot of variety in my collection. And so I don't always have to listen to Queen. I can always go and pick and choose any band I want to listen to, and I can spend time with them. But I always know I can always go back to Queen. And every time I go back to them, it's almost like I never left. It still sounds fresh to me. And I'm just glad that I still have that. I don't have any burnout with them as of late. But again, back then you didn't really have that luxury. You just listen to whatever. And especially if you have a job where you have the radio playing and they always play the same hits. Again, I totally understand where you're coming from. But to me, I don't have that problem because I don't listen to radio at all. And I have a lot more control on when I want to listen to something. So I don't really have that struggle. I realized this video has become more of a rant as it went along. But I'm calm now, and now I can get serious for a bit. Look, it's okay if you don't like Queen. It's gonna hurt me a bit, but that's just your personal preference. Just like I have my personal preference. And it's really hard when people talk negative on something that you love. And it's also really hard to not take it personally. But that's something I just need to live with because at the end of the day, we all have our own opinions. And to cut Brad some slack, he did say this at the end of his Night at the Opera reaction.
It's like the individual pieces themselves don't necessarily do anything crazy for me, but the fact that they made a rock opera like this, they work pretty well in this full package of an album. I actually get it. I get why people like this so much, why it's such a fun and commercially successful album.
Still a piece of shit though. If you're a Queen fan, do you think these reasons are valid? Or if you're a Queen hater and you just so happen to stumble upon this video, first off, please please go easy on me. And also, do you agree with these reasons or other reasons that I didn't mention? This should be a fascinating discussion, and if you want to see more videos like this in the future, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will see you again in the next video. Hopefully something a bit more chill. But until then, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you then. Take care, and goodbye for now. Oh man. Man, that was intense. Having to talk about Queen like that for a long period of time. Man, I just want to talk positively on Queen again. Maybe I should get some friends, and maybe we can talk about why we love Queen so much. Yeah, that should be a good idea. I should probably get on that. Who knows? Maybe I can start a series talking about every Queen album.